Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and we're going to be going over what is arguably the coolest truck that Chevy makes, and that is the Trail Boss with the Duramax diesel. Before we get in this video though, a huge shout out and thank you to the Larry Trailer Chevy here in Murray, Utah for giving me some time with this truck. I'm going to include a link to their inventory in the description down below so you can check out what they have currently. If you have any questions or need any help, just ask to work with Nick and Gage. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. So under the hood we have a 3-liter turbocharged inline-6 diesel known as the baby Duramax, or at least that's what I call it, that goes through a 10-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy is 21 around town and then 23 on the highway, with power outputs now being 305 horsepower and then 495 pound-feet of torque. Now before we go to the front end, I do want to mention, if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So starting with the hood here, you guys can see we've got the Trail Boss like accent piece you have in the center. It's all blacked out, looks really cool. And then of course we got the Duramax badge because this has the diesel. And then popping down below, we have like over 10 inches of ground clearance with the Trail Boss package. You guys can see the whole grille has been blacked out. You've got the cool LED daytime running lights with the headlights. Notice the Chevy bow tie has been blacked out. Z71 logo there on the grille, which is also pretty cool. And then you guys can see you've got the red tow hooks there at the bottom and then fog lights at the very bottom. And then being a Trail Boss, this does have skid plate protection underneath. And then when you put it all together, this is a really aggressive looking pickup. Coming around the side here, our tire and wheel setup is 275, 65, 18 in the front and over in the rear as well. And then you guys can see the wheels have been all blacked out, which is a really cool look on the truck. Now here's a closer look at the tires. You can see really aggressive because again the Trail Boss is the off-road package, and then the Trail Boss does come with a 2-inch suspension lift from the factory. We've got our Z71 badge here on the side, and then you guys can see how the mirror caps are blacked out. Door handles are also blacked out as well, and then you got the little Trail Boss sticker there at the back. And then taking a look at the side profile of the truck, it looks so cool. You guys can see it just has that like beefy off-roader type look, and I love how the fenders pop out too. Now this does still utilize leaf springs if you guys are wondering, and then we do have Rancho shocks with the Trail Boss package. So here is our key fob. You guys can see we've got the unlock function, the lock function, remote start, and then the drop down for the tailgate. So we'll press that a couple times and it'll pop right down. Now with this package, we have a payload capacity of 1,700 pounds. And then you guys can see we've got some protection here on the tailgate. And then we have LED lights here and the bed, and then a full power outlet as well. And then you guys can see the cargo light there at the top. Looks pretty neat. Now this doesn't have an automatic raise function on the tailgate, so you do have to lift it up yourself. Now you've got the cool upgraded taillights here in the back, and then you guys can see you've got your LT badge, Silverado badge as well, and then no Chevrolet in the center. And then we still have the squeezed exhaust tips that this comes with. And then you guys can see the cool bumper steps, which is a nice practical thing. And then towing capacity is 9,000 pounds. And putting it all together, the Trail Boss in this like sand color is so cool looking. Definitely a fun truck. Now with the door panel in the rear, you guys can see we've got wood trim here at the top, and then look at like the leather trim down below and all of the stitching. That looks really cool. Now with the base form of the LT, you do have cloth seats, so you guys can see we have that happening here. And then underneath the seat, you got some storage because, well, flat loading floor life. Legroom here in the back is fantastic. You guys can see you've got a little storage pocket here, cup holders. We got some vents with some USBs as well. And then headroom's also solid. And then we do have keyless entry with the truck. Now with the front door panel, you guys can see again with the wood trim, and then look at like the double stack design with the leather trim, the door panel itself. All of our window controls here, notice the front one is automatic. We got our mirror adjustments here, door lock and unlock. And then notice we have a convex mirror right there to help out. And then here are the front seats. They're cloth just like the back seats, as you guys can see. And then notice that we do have our power adjustments here on the side. And then there's a quick look at the pedal layout, and then you got the Z71 here. And then we have our parking brake here, and then you guys can see we've got our auto for the driveline select. You have your 4-wheel high, 2-wheel high, and then 4-wheel low. Drive mode select, and then you got your trailer tow mode right next to that. And then your light controls off to the side with the cargo light function. And then the steering wheel is manually adjustable. So here is the steering wheel. You guys can see really nice leather trim all around. We do have radio controls on the back of the steering wheel. Paddle shifters as well for that 10-speed automatic. We've got some controls for the center stack here, and I guess I got to turn off the climate stuff. It's going crazy. Voice command controls, heated steering wheel button on the steering wheel, and then our cruise control as well. And then we have our turn signal / windshield wiper stock, and then nothing there because it doesn't have a column shifter, folks. We have this full digital gauge cluster here, and you guys can see I can scroll through some different menus to see different bits of info on the truck. Now, the fun thing is that right there. So when I pop it into tow haul mode, notice it shows a Trail Boss towing a trailer, and it is a Trail Boss, which is pretty cool. And then I've got an off-road mode as well, and it shows a Trail Boss off-road, so that's pretty fun. Now in reverse, we just have a regular backup camera with trajectory lines that do turn with the steering wheel. And by the way, I believe that Corvette's for sale, and if you guys don't know, the Chevy Murray doesn't charge anything over MSRP. So if you want a Corvette at MSRP, again, ask for Nick and Gage. And then you guys can see with the center line right there. Now as for the rest of the infotainment system, you got a shortcut bar here on the side, and overall response time with the screen is fantastic. It does come with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, and then you got this auxiliary screen here, which you can change to different settings. I like the clock because it looks cool. We've got our home screen button here with the volume control right next to it, and then you guys can see with the lane departure, you've got your auto stop start, tailgate drop down, hazard lights, stability control, and then your hill descent control. And then look at the wood trim and the silver trim that goes across. Trailer brake controls already integrated from the factory, and then you guys can see you've got our dual zone climate controls. This has heated seats. Notice you can do the whole seat or just the back, which is pretty cool. And then you got some USB action. We've got our shifter for that 10-speed automatic transmission. We got some cup holders right next to it. And then you guys can see with this center console, notice it's like flat there on the top. But opening it up, we do have a wireless phone charging pad with some USB action and quite a bit of storage. And then you guys can see with the glove box setup, we got the top one. It pops up all funny. And then you got the bottom one, which is more normal. And then you notice really nice material use on the dash. You can see the stitching as well. And also I like the bulge there in the center. It looks cool. So with the mirror, you guys can see we've got a manual dimmer right there, and then the rear glass is actually fixed. So here's a window sticker for this Trail Boss. Something that I find hilarious is they're not showing the mileage anymore on the warranty with the window sticker. I'm guessing so that they can save money on printing window stickers or something. I don't know, it's just funny. They say visit your dealer basically to see information. But anyways, base MSRP on this, $58,000. Now this has some options, including the Duramax diesel. The diesel is $2,600 roughly, and then you got some other options after that. So total MSRP on this is $63,330. And, well, actually I can't probably, yeah, I don't think I can get the whole truck on this side, so you guys saw the side view earlier. So that's gonna sum things up with our video on this Trail Boss with the Duramax diesel. I want you guys to let me know what you think about this particular truck, and I want to mention a couple things before we fully cap off the video. First off, if you guys want to see me drive the new LZO Duramax, I already did a review with a High Country, which will pretty much drive identically to this truck. Yes, the shocks are different, yes, the tires are different, but the powertrain is the same, and I can tell you from driving a bunch of different Silverados that they do drive slightly different, but it's all pretty close. And so the acceleration with this is going to be pretty close to the acceleration with that High Country. The biggest thing with this truck is because those off-road tires, you're not going to get as good of fuel economy. You guys saw that with the fuel economy rating. It's quite a bit less compared to the High Country that I reviewed. I think it was about a month ago, roughly. But overall, I still think this is such a cool truck because, again, you got the diesel, which is super reliable, and it's, again, still pretty fuel efficient with this package. It would be a monster off-road because of the torque, which hopefully GM sends one of these out so I can test it off-road in the near future. But yeah, I think this truck just has everything. It looks great. And, you know, if you don't like this particular interior, you can actually upgrade to the leather interior with the Trail Boss package. Yes, that is going to cost a little bit more, but I mean, you're going to be like, what, mid-60s for a pretty loaded up Trail Boss with a Duramax diesel? I mean, compare that to off-road packages with Ford and Ram, you're looking at over $70,000. So this thing's looking like a pretty good value for everything that it has. But anyways, that'll sum things up. Thanks to Larry H. Miller Chevy here in Murray for giving me some time with this truck. Check out the inventory in the description down below. Ask to work with Nick and Gage. I'll see ya.